So that is what is the problem. Okay, so we will be starting a so I have minimized and still okay. So I'll be having a lot of deferred stuff now. Okay, fine. So we'll be starting a next unit called as simultaneous equation. Here we have to study 4 methods. First is the Gauss elimination with partial pivoting. Okay, so this is the first method. The second method is I think so TDMA, Thomas tridiagonal matrix algorithm. Third one is Jacobi iterative method. And the fourth one is Gauss-Seidel method. Okay. So I just verify the spelling of Seidel. Okay, so it is Gauss-Seidel method. So spelling is in this form. Okay. So these 4 methods are there, and for programming, this is the most toughest of it. Okay, so arrays will be introduced in this case, and there will be many functions. So your program will be lot linear. Linear means it by length, by number of lines, it will be lot more longer. So more number of lines you will require. Okay, and for programming it is one of the toughest topics. So if you are able to do this, so then all rest of the programming is automatically covered. Okay, so that's how this topic is going to be. So first is the Gauss elimination method, and then there are some drawbacks what we achieve in Gauss elimination method, and therefore we try to do the partial pivoting to overcome that drawback. So what we are going to do, we are going to start with the Gauss elimination with partial pivoting itself, and why the pivoting is introduced, that that we will discuss during the only solving with the numerical. Okay, so I start with Gauss elimination method. Elimination with, of course, partial pivoting. Okay. So one could write down what are the steps involved. First step is to write system of equation into A x, so I write x like this, is equal to C form. Okay, where A is coefficient matrix, X is variable matrix, and C is constant matrix. Okay, so this is the step what we do for the programming. Okay, this is the what we step do for the programming. So there is a small change when we do the manually. It is just to simplify the process of solving manually. So this is what we do it. Then second step is pivoting. Okay, so you can do partial. It may require intermediate pivoting, or we can say we can go for the full pivoting. Okay, so basically the concept of pivoting. Okay, what the pivoting means? It is like arranging system of equation in a such a way that diagonal element will have maximum absolute value. So we are not bothered about sign. Okay, so its absolute value of the diagonal element should be maximum. That is what we are trying to do. So we arrange the system of equation in a such a way that the system of equation basically becomes diagonally dominant. All diagonal element will have maximum absolute value. While arranging, we follow certain procedure. Okay, so that procedure may be labeled as partial pivoting. That procedure may be labeled as intermediate pivoting, and that process may be labeled as full pivoting. So what kind of process we follow, according to that the types of pivoting we declare it. Okay, the third step is converting AX equal to C into upper triangular form. So this is the next step. Okay, so your matrix could be something like this. After pivoting, maybe A11, A12, A13, 0, A22, A23. Okay, so 0, 0, A33. So this representation we call this as a upper triangular form. Okay, so instead of upper, you can also go lower triangular form. So both are applicable. You can go with upper and you can go with the lower. So we will follow one unique way. We will go with upper triangular form. Okay, and we are going to write the program only in the upper triangular form. The fourth one step is back substitution. Back substitution method. Okay, what is the meaning of back? bringing out lost or eliminated variable. This is what we call as back substitution method, and with the help of that basically we get the values of all x's. So bring it out lost or eliminated variable, and that is why Gauss elimination. First we eliminate it and then last step is to back substitute it. Okay, so that back substitution meant bringing out lost or eliminated variable back. So we have the values of x. Okay. Now, what we do when we solve manually, the pivoting is our first step. Okay, and the second step is this one for manual solving. But for programming, this will be our first step, and second step will be our pivoting. Pivoting. Okay, so just a few things changing. Okay, just to simplify the process, and the rest of the process remains the same. So I hope this is clear to everyone. So just kindly note that these are the processes what we have to do it. Okay. Let's think about what is the step one. Okay, writing the system of equation into Ax equal to C form, and second is the doing the partial pivoting. Okay, so let's do these two parts. So since we are solving manually, so second part will be first and the first part will be second. Okay, so let's write a system of equation x1 plus 3x2 plus 10x3 is equal to 14. Okay, say 9x1 plus x2 plus x3 equal to 11, and we write here in this case 4x1 plus 12x2 plus 2x3 is equal to 18. Okay, so this is my basically system of equation. Okay, so we do the partial pivoting. Partial pivoting means arranging a system of equation in a such a way that the diagonal element will have the maximum absolute value. That is what is the thing. So in case of partial pivoting, first we target coefficient of x1. That is always the case because it is a partial. In case of full, we find out which is the maximum and then we process it according to that one. But since this is a partial, first we try to find out what is which is the maximum coefficient of the x1. So I can see this 9. Okay, is my maximum coefficient of x1. So therefore I write that equation as, so I am doing a process called as pivoting. Okay, so I write that equation as 9x1, okay, plus x2 plus x3 is equal to 11. So that becomes my equation number 1. So once this is done, the next target is x2. Okay, so one by one variable I am trying to do. So I see this 12 is what is my maximum. Okay, so therefore I write 4x1 plus 12x2 plus 2x3 is equal to 80. So this is my equation number second. And for third equation, I don't have a choice. So it has to be at the third position. So I put it x1 plus 3x2 plus 10x3 is equal to 14. So I am not bothered about here in this case sign. Okay. So I took all positive. So therefore sign was not the trouble. But you could see now my all diagonal elements is having maximum absolute value. Absolute word you have to remember. Okay. And this is what I have done with the partial pivoting. So first I try to find out x1, then to find x2, and then I have arranged it. It is likely possible by doing the partial pivoting, we may also introduce the lot of inaccuracies because we are trying to disturb the full pivoting also. This do happen. Okay. So many times then we require full pivoting, and many times we also do require an intermediate pivoting. Okay. So what is the full pivoting? Next time I will tell you that how you have to do the full pivoting. So now just let me know whether you have understood the partial pivoting concept. You can answer in group if you are not able to unmute and say something.
Sir, can you please explain what is the meaning of pivoting once again?
Yeah. Hello, can you speak loudly, please?
Sir, can you please explain what is the meaning of the pivoting once again?
Yeah, pivoting means arranging a system of element in a such a way that diagonal element will have maximum absolute value. Okay. So there are processes, 3 different processes we have to follow. One of the processes is what? Find out the maximum coefficient of x1. Put that as equation number 1. So I see here in this case equation number 2 has this equation has the maximum x1. So therefore I put it as equation number 1. Okay. Now I can also next step is to find out maximum coefficient of x2 because x1 is done now. So I see in equation number 3 this value is maximum. So I put that as equation number 2. So it has been placed at 2. And for last I was not having the option. So I kept as it is, that is x1 plus 3x2 plus 10x3 equal to 14. Fortunately 10 was the coefficient of x3 which is maximum for the x3 also. Okay. So in this way we have done the pivoting. Is this clear to now?
Yes sir, yes.
Okay. So okay. So now what we can do, we will form the system. Okay. So since what we want to achieve with the pivoting, so what's the advantage I'm going to get? First thing is sometimes the solution do exist, okay, but with simple Gauss elimination method we are not in a position to find the solution since one of the diagonal element is 0. Okay, it is 0. So now let us consider if one of the element in diagonal coefficient is 0, then what is going to happen? My upper triangular form will be of this form. So I want this form. So if this one of the diagonal element is 0, I'm in big trouble. Either A22, A33 or A11, it is 0. So basically, if you see one of the diagonal element is 0 in upper triangular form, so the meaning, there are two meanings of this, that if such a way I get it. So one thing is that it has got the multiple solution, because if you know what we call that, determinant of matrices here in this case is 0. So if such is the case, then we say we have got the multiple solution. The another way is I cannot use the back substitution if one of the diagonal element is 0. Okay, that is one of the biggest challenge. But if I rearrange it, my diagonal element wherever 0 is there, see, if somewhere here 0 was there, so let us say 0x2. By rearranging, that 0 has been shifted to now equation number 1. So what has happened? 12 is the maximum and 0 has been shifted to equation number 1. So it is not the problem. My diagonal element is not 0. So I can go ahead with the process of forming the upper triangular as well as going with the back substitution. Okay. The next is it improves accuracy. Okay, so it just improves the accuracy. That is one of the important things. How? Okay, so after solving, we are going to find out that how the accuracy gets improved, but how much, don't know. So if you are trying to find out how much is the improvement, well, so this is also unknown. But there will be improvement, but how much? That's the every time that will be different stuff. Okay, so this is what is the pivoting. Now I write AX equal to C4. AX equal to C4. So these are the advantages. Okay, so we will realize this later on. Okay, so you'll understand if the diagonal is 0, what it makes a difference immediately. In how it improves, so once we solve one or two numericals, then we will in a position to find out does it really improve, and how much, of course we cannot tell, but it improves. Okay, so A is the matrix, so it is a coefficient matrix. So write 9, 1, 1, 4, 12, 2, 1, 3, 10. So this is my coefficient matrix. And now I write the variable matrix X as X1, X2, X3. This is my variable matrix. Then I write constant matrix as 11, 18 and 40. So in this way I write my constant matrix. Okay. Now next step is, so I did two steps. Okay, so this was my first step. Okay, and this is my second. So in programming, these steps are exchanged only. Okay, because it's lot easier to exchange values in arrays through programming. Okay, and manually it's quite simple. So see this equation and just replace the equation, first form the equation and then write this way. If we write in this way and then changing, we might get into trouble. Okay, so for simplicity purpose, we just do the pivoting first. Okay, so this is the second step. The third step is converting system of equation into upper triangular form. Okay, so it is upper triangular form. Okay, so how do we do it? So you can write down the steps. First step is using first row. Using first row, make the all elements in first column below the first row to 0. Okay, so using first row, make all elements in the first row, in the first column below the first row to 0. So if I try to take out the meaning of this sentence, so I get to know that this 4 value and this 1 value I have to make it 0. Okay, so this is what is the meaning of first statement. Is this clear to everyone? You can reply in group, or you can type Y. Yeah, okay, you is also fine. If you can type Y, that will be fine, or you can unmute and say. Have you understood the first point? So using first row, make all the elements in the first column below the first row to 0. So its meaning is that 4 and 1, where it exists, I have to make that 0. Have you got this meaning? Okay, why I got many times? Fine. Let us say. Let's move on. Second is using second row. Okay, make all the elements in the second column. In the second column below the second row to 0. Okay, so using second row, make all the elements in the second column below the second row to 0. So if I try to take out the meaning of this, so I want to make this third element to 0. Okay, so wherever 3 is there, so that I would like to make a 0. So its meaning is this. Now here we have the 3 by 3 system. We could have 10 by 10, 100 by 100. So in a FEM and CFD, we could have a larger system, 1 lakh by 1 lakh. Okay, so we talk in terms of nth row and nth column. So in that form, I can write like this: using nth row, make all the elements in the nth column below the nth row to 0. So this is now a generalized statement. So if we follow this process, we get the upper triangular form. Okay, this is how we do get the upper triangular form. Okay, so let's convert our system into a upper triangular form. So we have the 911. Okay, so what should I do? Okay, so using row 1, I have to make all the elements in the second row and third row of the first column to 0. So how do I go ahead? Okay, so I call this as a R1, I call this as a R2, and I call this as a R3. Okay, now, okay, so I just rewrite it so that everything will be available on one screen. Okay, so I write 9, 1, 1, then 4, 12, 2, 4, 12, 2, and then we have a 1, 3, 10. 1, 3, 10, and here we are 11, 18, and 14. Okay, so to have one screen, I just write it here: x1, x2, x3. So I have 11, 18, and 14. I call this as a R1 row, I call this as a R2 row, and I call this as a R3 row. Okay, so how do I do it? 4, 0 first. Let's talk about 4, 0. So I'm going to write here because I need this space. Okay, so my R2 is going to change. Okay, how it is going to change? R2 minus. Okay, R2 minus, I call this as a this element. Okay, this element is always in numerator and this element is always in denominator. So minus. So I am writing a plus including sign. So if the 4 was negative, then you have to put negative sign here. So plus 4 divided by, so it is 9 and it is having a positive sign. So plus 9. So if that is having negative value, then you have to put according to negative. So it was positive and purposefully there, therefore I am putting a plus 4 and plus 9 into R1. Okay, so R2 will change to R2 minus plus 4 divided by plus 9 into R1. So this 4 will be always in numerator and this 9 will be always in denominator. So if I perform this operation, okay, so what I am going to get? So I get 9 because there won't be happening with the row number 1. So this is 4. R2 is 4. So I just show you what happens. So R2 is 4 minus plus 4 plus 9 and R1 is 9. So the result is 0. So this is how I got the 0 here. Okay. Next set is what? R2 is 12. Okay. Minus plus 4 plus 9. Okay. And R1 is 1. So anybody could let me know this value please. Unmute करून सांगा कोणीतरी काहीतरी नाहीतर काहीतरी टाइप करा कुठेतरी ग्रुप मध्ये करा काहीतरी चॅट मध्ये टाका मला व्हॅल्यू ही व्हॅल्यू किती येते 4 डेसिमल प्लेस ॲक्युरसी घ्यायची 6 नाही घ्यायची ह्याच्यामध्ये Okay, so I got 11.555. Okay, so I can write here 11.555. So next is 12. Okay, now how to make 12? 2, not 12. Okay, so I just erase it. Okay, so next is R2 is 2 minus plus 4 plus 9 and R1 is 1. So how much is this value now? So I can guess it, this value would be 1.555. So just let me know whether this is correct or not. Is it correct? Okay, fine. So this is how I got the first row. Same operation I have to do on the constant matrix also. So therefore 18 minus plus 4 divided by plus 9 into 11. So anybody could tell me this value? Yeah. So 13.111. So I write this as a 13.111. Correct. Great. Okay. So I want to do it on my one page. So therefore what I do, I just erase this stuff. Okay. Okay. Great. Now next operation is I want to make this 0. So therefore R3 is going to change. How R3 is going to change? It will be R3 minus. This will be in numerator. So it is having plus sign. So therefore plus 1. The 9 will be always in the denominator. It is having positive sign plus 1 into R1. So if I do this, the 1 is going to turn into a 0. So let's see. So R3 is here in this case, it is 1. Okay. Minus plus 1 divided by plus 9 and R1 is 9. Okay. R1 is 9. So if I multiply, this comes out to be 0. Okay. So here in this case I got 0. The next step is, now I am talking about the second column. So 3 and 12. So 3 and 1. This comes into picture, not 3 and 12, 3 and 1, because row is 1 and here in this case R3 is 3. So R3 is 3 minus plus 1 plus 9 and into R1, and R1 here in this case is again 1. So anybody could find out this value, please? 3 minus 1 by 9. So that value 2.8888. Okay. So 2.4 times 8. The next thing is 10 minus plus 1 plus 9 into 1 again. So this value will be how much now? So I suppose it will be 9.8888. Okay, if I'm wrong, just let me please correct me. The next thing is this one. So we have 14. Okay, 14 minus plus 1 plus 9 into 11. So how much is this value now? 12.77. Okay, fair enough. So I write like this. Okay, so this is my x1, x2, x3 is equal to this value. So in upper triangular, I have completed this step. Since it is 3 by 3, I have to go up to 2 steps. If it is 4 by 4, then I need to go additional stuff. Okay, so that is how we are going to move ahead. So now using second row, make all the elements in the second column below the second row to 0. So this is the second step is required because I want to also make this element 0. Okay, so I keep this here or it will go. Okay, so I just rewrite it again. Okay, it will be in one screen, no issue. Okay, now next step will be I want to make this 0. Okay, using second row. So remember, always using second row, make all the elements in the second column below the second row to 0. So now I have to use second row. Previously I have to use first row. Using first row, make all the elements in the first column below the first row to 0. So usage was only first row. Now since I am talking about this to make 0, so my usage will be second row. So which row is going to change? R3 is going to change. Okay, so I am going to write R3 minus. This will be numerator. Okay, so this is positive sign. So therefore I am writing plus 2.888 divided by 11.55. This will be always in a numerator and it is having positive sign. So therefore I am writing a plus sign. 11.5555 into R2. So using R2 I have to make the elements in the R3 to 0. So if I do that, okay, so I try to erase this much portion so I can use this. Okay, so first term is 0. Okay, so R3, so for this I write equal to first term is 0, R3 0. Okay, minus plus 2.888 4 times plus 11.555 and this element R2, this is also 0, so 0, so no change. Here it is not going to happen any kind of change. So I am going to write 9, so I have this is 1, 1. This is not going to change at all because I am using this row to modify something. Okay. Now the recently I got this value to be 0. Okay. Now 2.888 minus plus 2.888 divided by plus 11.555 into R2. So R2 is 11.555 and that comes out to be 0. So therefore I write 0 here. Okay. Next is 9 point this one. So is equal to 9.888 minus plus 2.888 divided by plus 11.555 into R2, that is 1.555. So how much is this value? Anybody could calculate and let me know, please. 9.499. Okay, very good. 9.499. Okay, so this value, this is my matrix, this is my x1, x2, x3 is equal to, okay, so this becomes 11, 13.111. So last value, this is what is remaining. If anybody could calculate and let me know the last value. Okay, so 9.4999 or 9.500. 9.500. So these are the values coming. Fine, great. Okay, so this is my third step. So I completed my third step. Now I am going for fourth. That is the back substitution method. Okay, now you could realize here. See, if any of the diagonal element is 0, say let us say this R2 is 0, then R3 will never become 0. Okay, because we want to make this 0. Say, if here 9 is 0, with the help of this 0, I cannot make 4 and 1 0. It is not possible. Okay. If 12 is 0, with the help of this 0, I cannot make this 3 to 0. So, if the diagonal element is 0, I cannot move ahead. And that is what the partial pivoting does. It removes the 0 to somewhere else and we have the maximum diagonal element available. So that the rest of the element I can make the 0. So though sometimes the system equation has the solution, but because the arrangement in such a way that one of the diagonal element is 0, I am not able to go with the upper triangulation form, and that results into, they say I'm not able to get the solution. Okay, so to prevent that, one of the ways is to go for the partial. Okay, sometimes we have to go for the intermediate, sometimes we have to go for the full pivoting. So that we'll also study later on step by step. Okay, so I hope you realize why the diagonal element should not be 0. If you have understood, you can type Y. Okay, great. So now back substitution. Okay, so from last row, I can clearly write 9.499 is x3 into x3 is equal to 9.500. Okay, so from this, what is the value of x3? 1. Okay, so this is what I am getting. There is a small error, so let it be, it will be 0.999 something like this. So I am writing that as a 1. Okay, so you can write 0.999. So you could see error started involving here. Okay, so actual value is 1, but we are getting some 0.999 value. So here we can see the error started involving. So there is a certain type of error. Why this error comes? Because we are involving factors like 7 by 3, okay, maybe 22 by 7, which are not completely divisible. So those factors do involve the truncation and the round off errors, and that causes the inaccuracy in the solution. Okay, so x3 equal to 1, this is what I got. From the second row, I can write 11.555 into x2 plus 1.555 into x3 is equal to 13.111. So this is what is the value. So x3 already I am aware of, that is 1. Okay, so if you solve that, you get x1 equal to 1. Okay, From the first equation, I get 9x1 plus x2 plus x3 is equal to 11. We know this value is 1, we know this value is 1, and from this I get x1 equal to 1. So this process, what I have written, is called as back substitution method. So if you have understood the back substitution method, you can type B